If you want to kickstart your German learning journey and be able to converse in daily life situations in no time, then today's lesson is for you. I'm going to walk you through the 100 most important phrases you'll need to navigate practical situations, build connections, and embrace life in the German-speaking countries. From basic greetings to useful phrases for shopping, ordering at a German restaurant, and getting out of tricky situations, I've got you covered. Hallo Leute, mein Name ist Salome and I'm a certified native German teacher from Frankfurt. My mission with this channel is to help those of you who are looking to move to German-speaking countries become confident and conversational as fast and efficient as possible. So if this sounds good to you, then don't forget to subscribe for weekly videos like this. To make today's lesson easier for you to digest, I've divided the phrases into different categories. So we're going to dive into German greetings, introducing yourself, starting a conversation, asking for directions, ordering food and asking for the bill, important phrases for shopping, dealing with medical emergencies, finding hidden gems, and navigating tricky situations. There's also a free set of digital flashcards with the audios for you to practice and revise afterwards. So make sure you grab that as well. The link to get access for free is in the description box below. Also, pro tip, if you really want to get the most out of today's session, then repeat the phrases after me and rewind to practice a few more times if you find some of them difficult. Also, bist du bereit? Los geht's! Let's start with German greetings. Hallo. Guten Tag. Guten Morgen. And pay attention here to the pronunciation, so we don't have this dominant German R sound here, like morgen. I actually don't really pronounce it that much. Guten Morgen, morgen. Guten Abend. Gute Nacht. And in some region you might hear Servus or Moin. For goodbye, you can say Tschüss or Auf Wiedersehen. If you want to say take care, you can say Mach's gut. Mach's gut. Or with people that you address formally, you would say Machen Sie's gut. Machen Sie's gut. If you want to know more in depth when to address someone formally or informally, then definitely check out this video next where I break it down for you. If you want to say see you later or see you soon in German, you can say bis bald. Bis später. Wir hören uns. And this word we've borrowed from the Italian language, but you will hear it very often in daily life conversations. We actually say ciao as well for goodbye. Ciao. All right, next let's talk about how to introduce yourself. You can say ich heiße. And in this word, you will find this funny looking B in high standard German, which is pronounced like a sharp S, like in the word for snow. Ich heiße. All right, so I don't say ich heiße, but ich heiße. It's a sharp S sound. Heißen kind of means like I am called. So ich heiße is I am called. You can alternatively also say mein Name ist. Mein Name ist. Ich komme aus. Ich wohne in. Ich arbeite als blank. Like for example, ich arbeite als Lehrerin oder ich arbeite als Manager. Ich wohne hier seit. Ich wohne hier seit 3 Jahren. Ich wohne hier seit einer Woche. Das ist meine Familie. And with the word Familie, you want to make sure that you pronounce every single letter. Very often I hear English speakers pronounce it as Familie, which sounds like the English word family, but in German we pronounce every single letter. So it's Familie. Das ist meine Familie. Es freut mich, Sie kennenzulernen. Es freut mich, Sie kennenzulernen. All right, next, let's dive into some useful phrases or questions to start a conversation. This is actually a secret hack I have for you if you really want to practice your listening comprehension, which is asking natives a lot of questions and just make the other part speak. That way you can really immerse yourself in the German language and how it's actually spoken by natives. Sometimes just sitting back, asking questions, and listening can do wonders to your language skills as well. Woher kommst du? Was machst du gern in deiner Freizeit? Wie war dein Wochenende? Or the formal version would be, wie war Ihr Wochenende? Wie war dein Tag bisher? Or formal, wie war Ihr Tag bisher? Also pay attention here to the pronunciation of Tag. Even though it ends with a G, we don't pronounce it as Tag, we pronounce it as Tag. So with a harsher K sound, Tag. Was machst du am Wochenende? Was machst du heute noch? In the word noch, we have this very harsh sound, which is pronounced in the back of your throat. I actually made a full breakdown and tutorial on how to pronounce this sound, which I'm going to link in the description box below as well for you to watch next if you're struggling with this sound. Was machst du heute noch? Wann hast du Urlaub? Was machst du im Urlaub? Asking for directions. If you simply want to know where something is, you can ask, wo ist? For example, wo ist der Bahnhof? Or, wo ist der Supermarkt? Ich habe mich verlaufen. And these next two phrases are actually something that I use very often in other languages as well when I'm traveling. These are lifesavers if you're someone like me who doesn't pay attention to charging your cell phone properly. Mein Handy-Akku ist leer. Entschuldigung, darf ich Ihr Google Maps benutzen? Ich möchte dahin. Ich möchte zu, nach, or in. So I know this can be a little bit confusing. We have 3 different prepositions for saying to in English. Here it really depends on the context of the sentence. Usually, or generally speaking, we would use zu for places we want to go to. So for example, ich möchte zum Bahnhof or ich möchte zum Marktplatz. And if we're talking about city names, we would use the preposition nach. Ich möchte nach Berlin oder ich möchte nach Oberstdorf. And if you want to go to the city center, we would use the preposition in. So for example, ich möchte in die Stadt oder ich möchte in die Altstadt. Entschuldigung, wo finde ich? Entschuldigung, wo finde ich den Bahnhof? Wo finde ich das Kino? Ist es weit von hier? Wie komme ich zu? For example, wie komme ich zum Bahnhof? Wie komme ich zum Kino? Gibt es hier ein Café in der Nähe? Welcher Bus fährt in die Innenstadt? Alright, let's talk about ordering food and asking for the bill. And just a quick reminder here to also go out and use these phrases in real life situations. Don't just sit at home, watch this video, and then forget everything about it afterwards. Take some notes if needed and then try it out. The world outside is really the best classroom that you can get, and it makes it so much easier to retain these phrases if you're actually practicing in context and in real life situations. So I also want to remind you to apply the phrases that you're learning today. Also, weiter geht's. Entschuldigung, haben Sie schon geöffnet? Einen Tisch für 2, bitte. Können wir dort sitzen? Können Sie etwas empfehlen? Die Speisekarte bitte. Now, a really good hack if you go to a restaurant for the first time and you don't know what to order, or maybe they have some specialties in terms of like beers or wine, I would definitely make sure to ask the waiter or waitress for recommendations. For this, you will need the following phrases in German. Was für Bier haben Sie? Was für Wein haben Sie? Ich hätte gern. Ich hätte gern einen Salat. Ich hätte gern ein Wasser. And afterwards, if it was really good, you can say, das Essen war sehr lecker. Lecker means yummy. If you have any allergies, this is definitely a really important phrase for you. Ich bin allergisch gegen. I'm allergic against. Zum Beispiel, ich bin allergisch gegen Nüsse. Oder ich bin allergisch gegen Meeresfrüchte. Haben Sie vegetarische Optionen? Haben Sie vegane Optionen? Ein Glas Wasser bitte. Oder eine Flasche Wasser bitte. Now, very often you have to choose between sparkling water or still water. And for sparkling water, you would say mit Kohlensäure. Wasser mit Kohlensäure. Or still, ohne Kohlensäure. And if you want to ask for the bill, you would say die Rechnung bitte. Die Rechnung bitte. Important phrases for shopping. Wie viel kostet das? Haben Sie das in einer anderen Farbe? Kann ich mit Karte bezahlen? Wo ist die Umkleide? Now, if you're just looking around and you don't want to buy anything yet, you can simply say, ich schaue mich nur um. Ich schaue mich nur um. But if you're looking for something specific, you would need the phrase ich suche. Ich suche eine Bluse or ich suche einen Anzug. Now, if you're shopping for a specific occasion, you can say ich suche etwas für. And then you add the occasion. So for example, ich suche etwas für eine Hochzeit. Oder ich suche etwas für ein Bewerbungsgespräch. Haben Sie eine weiße Bluse? Oder haben Sie Anzüge? Ich nehme das. Das gefällt mir. Das ist mir leider zu groß. And if you want to ask for a different size, haben Sie das eine Größe kleiner? Now, if you have bought something and it wasn't the right fit, or you realize at home that you don't need it anymore and you want to bring it back or exchange it for something, you can say, ich möchte das umtauschen. Or, ich möchte das zurückgeben. Now, of course, I hope that you never get into this situation, but sometimes life happens and emergencies do appear. So let's talk about important phrases to use when dealing with medical emergencies. Mir geht es nicht gut. Hilfe, rufen Sie einen Notarzt. Ich habe hier Schmerzen. Ich brauche eine Schmerztablette. Mein Freund, meine Freundin braucht dringend Hilfe. Wo ist das nächste Krankenhaus? Or if you're going to get a cab to the next hospital, you can tell the taxi driver, bitte fahren Sie uns zum nächsten Krankenhaus. Mein Kind hat Fieber. Ich brauche ein Rezept. Now, das Rezept actually has two meanings. In the context of medical situations, it means the prescription, but it can also mean the recipe. So just a little side note here. And if you need a sick leave for your company, you can ask for die Krankmeldung. Ich brauche eine Krankmeldung. Now, especially as expats actually living in the German-speaking countries and wanting to explore more things outside of the tourist bubble, finding hidden gems can be a lot of fun. So next, I'm going to teach you a few phrases that you can use in order to find authentic and local experiences. Wo finde ich authentisches Essen in der Stadt? Kannst du ein gutes Restaurant empfehlen? Welche Sehenswürdigkeiten sind nicht so überlaufen? Now, die Sehenswürdigkeiten are the landmarks. It's a very long word, so let's practice together. Die Sehenswürdigkeiten. Gibt es hier einen schönen Park? And if you're simply approaching someone on the streets and you want to ask them for a recommendation, you can say, Entschuldigung, darf ich Sie kurz stören? Or, kann ich Sie schnell etwas fragen? Ich suche ein nettes Café in der Nähe. Now, if that person wasn't able to help you, you can say, trotzdem danke. Trotzdem danke. Sometimes you might get approached and you might not be able to understand the other person and you want them to either repeat something or maybe ask them to speak a little bit more slowly. So here are a few important survival phrases to get out of tricky situations. Wie bitte? Entschuldigung, sprechen Sie Englisch? Können Sie das bitte aufschreiben? Können Sie das bitte langsam wiederholen? Ich spreche nicht so gut Deutsch. Wie heißt das auf Deutsch? Now, if someone is asking you something and you really don't have a clue, maybe they're asking you for directions or something like that, and you don't even know yourself where you're going and you're not familiar with the local area, you can say, keine Ahnung. Keine Ahnung. Or, das weiß ich nicht. Können Sie bitte langsamer sprechen? Ich habe das nicht verstanden. Now, if someone wasn't able to really help you, you can say, macht nichts. Macht nichts. And if you really want to practice your phrases in real life situations and you want to give the other person a heads up, you can say, ich lerne Deutsch. Ich lerne Deutsch. And if they end up being patient with you and giving you the room and space to practice, you can say, vielen Dank für Ihre Geduld. Vielen Dank für Ihre Geduld. Whether you're planning to visit Germany, Austria, or Switzerland, there is a good chance you can communicate in English. However, if you take the time to learn basic German phrases, you'll be able to connect with natives on a much deeper level. Also, having a few German phrases up your sleeve can completely transform your experiences in these countries. You don't need to be a language genius. Starting with a handful of essential phrases and using them is a great starting point. And if you're ready to go beyond the basic German phrases and achieve confidence in your conversational skills, I recommend checking out my 60-minute free training for beginners in which I go in depth into German pronunciation, basic grammar, and my best learning strategies for total beginners. The link to register for free is in the description box below. I can't wait to see you there. Das ist alles für heute. Vielen Dank fürs Zuschauen und bis zum nächsten Mal. Tschüss!